Hey guys, I'm Michael from Tabor Touring, and today I'm going to reconfigure my studio around this Audient iD14 digital recording interface. Today I'll be enjoying this Stone IPA, and I want to be careful not to spill this over all my electronics. So my current recording setup is a complete rat's nest, meaning I have cables going everywhere, it's overly complicated. I've already incorporated this interface into my recording setup, but I'm not really leveraging its strengths, which are these preamplifiers here. The reviews say they're among the best in the price range. I want to reconfigure my setup so that I'm using these preamplifiers and not the preamplifiers on my Behringer X-Air, which I'll show you right now. So my current setup, I'm routing the output of the Audient iD14 through the monitor out into this Behringer X-Air mixer. And I'm actually running all my microphones, my inputs, into this Behringer XR18 mixer. And then on this tablet, I have the mixing software for this mixer, and I'm adjusting levels and sending the signal of whichever mic that I want to use at the moment. I'm using auxiliary 5 and 6 on here to run back in to the Audient 14 under channels 1 and 2. And I want to get rid of this rat's nest and use this interface properly and cut this mixer out. Right now I'm using the preamps in this mixer, which are highly inferior to the preamps in the Audient iD14. Also what I have here, the Boss DI1 Direct box I'm using. I've got a tuner that I like to use. And then all my guitar tones are coming from this Axe FX 2 XL Plus here at the bottom. I want to keep that in the rig for sure. And this is actually my live guitar rig that this is all rack mounted in, so I got a wireless, a solid state amp, and all that good stuff in there as well, so that'll have to stay. But I want to clean up this rat's nest of cables, make it look nice, simple, and then ultimately just leveraging the power of this iD14. So I have this other screen here, and this is actually my work from home setup as well. This is just a flimsy little board that's kind of set on top of it. Let me see. Alright. So I'd like to actually build something more permanent on the desk. I could slide my work setup under when I'm not actually working, right? And then the screen could be on top of it. And that could house a rack mount on this left side. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and pull this out so you guys can see just how bad this rat's nest is. So, there you go. The back actually is cleaner than the front. And if I took away, see, these are going up to that headphone monitor, so I won't need those back there anymore. You can see actually the live rig itself. I think there's 1, 2, 3 cables here that are interfacing with the recording rig. The live rig itself is actually pretty clean back there. That thing is an absolute disaster. So it sounded pretty good, but it's a disaster. So now I've gone and removed this off the top. You can see when all the cables aren't plugged in, it's actually a pretty clean unit. So quick overview of this interface. It's got 2 preamps. You can see here on the back the XLR inputs for those. And these are very highly rated preamps. They're on Audient's higher end stuff. They use the same preamps throughout their entire range, which is pretty cool. In the front here is direct input. This is a JFET preamp circuit, which is emulating the input stage of your tube amplifier. It's got this big knob on the other side here where you can control volume of the monitor outputs. You can see right there, there's two outputs to go to your monitors. On the other side here, you can change the volume of, there's a headphone output. In the center here, this can be used to control pretty much anything on your computer that you might normally control with the scroll wheel on your mouse. You just click on that and then you turn this, and that has a lot of different applications, whether it's automating a track or whatever you want to do. It attaches to your computer via USB. It also has a 12 volts DC power input, which you need to have attached if you're going to use the phantom power, this plus 48 volts, which is independent for channels 1 and 2. There's this optical input in the back where you can optionally buy more equipment with more preamplifiers, and you can attach that here. This can all total have up to 10 channels, I guess. I only have this one. I only need 2 channels right now. It's nice to know that if I was gonna need more inputs like drum tracking, that I could just buy another piece of outboard equipment, hook it right up to this interface, and I'd have 10 inputs. So I built this shelf, which houses my work computer under there, and then space to put not only my headphone amp, but if I ever have another rack mount unit, it'll fit right on the top of that. And then take a peek underneath. I got the desktop. That hasn't changed. I got the hard drive now sitting on top of that if I ever need to plug that in. And then, this is the biggest change, that rastinets from earlier, completely gone. So this is my live guitar rig with the Axe effects. And this power supply I'm also using for this setup as well. And the center of the studio is now, instead of that mixer that was sitting on top of this earlier with all those cables coming in and out, I've just got the iD14. You can see there I've got the 2 outs going on to the headphone amplifier up there. And I'll be able to plug whatever I'm recording at the moment into these good Class A preamps on the Audient here. And also take advantage of the DI on the front, the FET, the J-FET. Oh, and also permanently hooked in there is now the power supply, so I can use the phantom power on either of the channels. Ah, perfect. So when I go to record, I could set this right on top here. And be able to use this button as a scroll wheel. Really nice. And these extra things you can see kind of sitting here. I've got just a short, this is a 3-foot Mogami XLR cable for if I need a patch in my direct box. And the reason I would use this is because I like to record not only the simulated amplifier cabinet signal from the Axe effects, I also like to capture the dry direct in signal at the same time, so this allows me to get that signal and then route into there, so I can also capture that guy. And from the back of the Axe effects, I have the stereo output right there. So if I only want to capture mono, I got 1. If I want to capture stereo, I've got number 2 as well. I've got a tuner here with the power supply, labeled of course. And also importantly, I have got the USB output from the Fractal Audio Axe effect, so I can plug that right into my desktop and change the tones without the need for that pedal board, which is what I use for the live shows. I don't have to have that permanently hooked out here anymore either, so the setup is a lot cleaner than it was. This preamp sounds pretty darn good. So the interface sounds great. My desk is looking a lot cleaner. There's a lot less cables to contend with. So I'm pretty happy with how it turned out. One last thing before I go, guys. Please be sure, if you enjoy this video, to hit that subscribe button. I'm going to be posting more content every week about just recording tips and general knowledge and experience from my 10+ years being a working musician. Hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I'll see you guys next time.